Hi folks, Tankerman here. How y'all doing? Well, I'm here today with one of the swamp donkeys. We got Matt. He rides a KTM 300. Let's meet him and his bike.
Hey, how y'all doing? Matt Shelton. Started riding with Tank about 6 months ago now. Enjoying it. It's winter time now, so we're shut down. It's been raining every day, seems like. So, yeah, so come over and check out the bike. Talk about it a little bit. Bought this bike about 7 months ago. When I found it on Facebook, just browsing. Had 2 hours on it. The previous owner was a 4-stroke rider and tried the 2 strokes out and decided he didn't like it. So it was pretty much brand new when I bought it. I had a CR250 before this that I tried to modify a little bit to get into trail riding. It was a 2001 model, and I did a few things like add flywheel weights and whatnot to it. The suspension never worked for me. I just didn't really like the power delivery of the bike. So whenever I found this one, I decided to get rid of the CR250 and buy this one. This is a 16 model. I think it's pretty much unchanged from previous years. Maybe 2014 and up is this frame geometry and whatnot on it. But it's been a good bike. Haven't had any issues with it. I have 16 hours on it now, so it's still pretty new. Haven't done anything to it besides change the hand grips out. They started spinning on me, so I replaced those with some Renthal hand grips and safety wired them. That's really the only thing I've done to it. It's been trouble-free. I changed, lowered the fork oil height to make the front forks a little bit softer on it, but besides that, it's bone stock. So I never thought in 2017 I would have another 2-stroke. I raced motocross for 18 years. I've ridden dirt bikes for 18 years. I raced probably for 16 of those 18 years. Mostly motocross. So then I had about a 5 or 6 year break in there when I went to school. The career I'm in, I couldn't afford to get hurt and break an arm or break a leg, so they highly encouraged me to park the motorcycle. So I did for about 5 or 6 years, but once it's in your blood, it's in your blood and you can't get it out. So that's when I purchased the CR250 I mentioned earlier. But I had a KTM about 12 years ago, and it was a KTM 125 2-stroke, And back then they had the linkless suspension on them, and they were very different from the Japanese bikes. And the parts were very hard to find. The online ordering wasn't what it is today, so you know, it wasn't as simple as just getting online and ordering parts for them. But it was always a very strong bike. KTM's always had very strong motors. The suspension was a big downfall of that bike. So that was right when the 4-stroke era was coming along, so I transitioned to 4 strokes after that, and got a YZ F250. And so the rest of my racing, I was always on 4 strokes. 4 strokes are great for racing, motocross, whatnot, but you know, when they blow up or eat a valve, they're very expensive. So when I decided to get back into riding, I didn't need to win a race anymore. I wanted something that I could rebuild in my shop by myself if I needed to, nothing complex with valves and chains and all that whatnot to work on. So I decided to go back with a 2-stroke. So, and you know, these are very competitive, I feel like, in the off-road world. They're simple to work on, they're affordable, and I think it's more fun to ride the 2-stroke. So that's how I ended up with this bike. I never thought, like I said, I never thought I'd have a 2-stroke in 2017, but here I am with one. They have electric starts on them and whatnot now, so they've come a long way for sure. I think KTM released a port injection model of this bike this year overseas, but I went with a 300 mostly because that was what I found. But the 250, I would have bought that. I wouldn't have any reserves about buying a 250 or even a 200. The 300, I think it's probably easier to ride than a 250 because of just the torque, and you can just put them around, and I enjoy having that. But you know, you can make it a pawpaw bike, or you can make it a fire-breathing dragon, whichever one you choose. They have some power valve springs on here that you can change out. Mine's like I said, it's a 300, so I have the softest spring, mostly because just for traction. In the trails, if it's muddy or slippery or whatnot, I don't want to be spinning out all over the place, so I just have the softest spring in there. And but if you decide that you want to go really, really fast, I guess you can put in the red spring and hold on for dear life. So, but I have the green spring, and I have my suspension all stock. I just have the race sag set for me, and I have my clicker set. One thing I do plan on probably doing is sending my front suspension off. I've done just about all I can do to it right now to soften it up, and I could ride the bike from now until I get rid of it with it like it is, but I think it can be better. The front forks are kind of harsh on these, and I think they're known for being harsh. They have some mid-stroke valving in them that I don't know exactly the technical terms for it, but it just makes the forks really harsh on these. So I'm planning on probably sending those off and getting those reworked, and maybe change the springs out for my weight. But besides that, I don't really plan on doing anything to it. It doesn't need an exhaust on it. It doesn't need, you know, any performance modifications because it's already way faster than what I can handle to begin with. So, and like I said, if I ever get to that point, I can change the power valve spring out and make it even faster. Change the power delivery on it at least, you know. So I've really enjoyed it. I look forward to riding it some more. I don't get to ride it as much as I'd like to. Like I said, in 7 months, I've only put 16 hours on it. So, but we'll see where it takes me. I'm enjoying riding the trails. It's a big change of pace from what I'm used to, or what I was used to with motocross. I like the laid back atmosphere of the trails. I'm not having to push myself. I'm not having to prove anything to anybody. I can go out there and ride, have fun, and enjoy some nature at the same time, and you know, not battling people, banging bars, and there's nothing wrong with that. I plan on actually taking this bike to a motocross track and just trying it out there for fun. But I'm kind of at the point where I have 2 kids, a full-time job. I can't afford to break a leg, break an arm, you know. jumping and whatnot like I used to. So I figured trail riding, if I want to keep riding motorcycles, that's what I'm going to do. So I can take it at my own pace and enjoy nature at the same time, and have fun with friends, and stop and, you know, take a sip of water if I need to. So on the track it's a little bit different. So very competitive, and I actually might try my hand at the LACC races this year. So we're going to see how that goes. I think I need to get a little more speed and maybe a little better fitness before I do that if I want to be competitive, but I may try it, see how it goes, and who knows, I may start doing that a little bit if I'm able to make some of the races, just depending on my work schedule and whatnot. So.
Well, Tankerman out. Y'all stay safe.